Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is about ensuring that everything we do is measurable, that everything we do is verifiable. We recognize the fact that successive administrations in our country, both military and civilian, had a terrible habit of promising what they could not deliver. His Excellency, Mr. President, has a clear track record of providing services that were delivered on the basis of promises that preceded them. And in Lagos, he promised and he delivered. And at the federal level now, as president, he is promising and he is going to deliver. And the reason why is because he is setting a series of time-marked, time-based benchmarks against which we will measure the performance of public officers in our administration. Ministers are not going to simply sit at their tables and have us hope that they perform or not. It is going to be based on benchmarks that have been set sector by sector, that have been established by reform committees that we put in place in the interim period between the time Mr. President won the election and the time he was sworn in. So the ministers already have those benchmarks, ministry by ministry. The question now is going to be about how they perform against those benchmarks, and we have a president who will not tolerate underperformance. And this is why Nigerians can have a level of trust in our administration that perhaps they hadn't had with previous administrations.
Okay, Ajuri, a question on the president's 8-point agenda. What is that central factor that ties the intention and anticipated results in these plans to the core issues of public trust?
Well, certainly, we recognize that there is a trust deficit. As I always say about the public sector in Nigeria, that we have earned the skepticism of our people, from a public sector standpoint over a long period of time. And the only way that you are going to reverse that is by delivering on what you say you're going to deliver on. Now, with respect to the 8-point agenda of our administration, already the question that is before Nigerians is about whether or not Mr. President has followed through on his word thus far. You'd recall that in his inauguration address, he said that fuel subsidy is gone, that we are not going to have artificially low fuel prices in the country, and that he is going to unify the foreign exchange market and unify foreign exchange rates. These are measures that Nigerians have now seen him implement. So when the members of the Federal Executive Council addressed the press yesterday, going through several of the various measures that each of them will be putting in place, I think there's a recognition on the part of the public that so far we have delivered on what we said we're going to deliver on, and we've been very forthright about the fact that these economic reforms come with short-term challenges and short-term pains. Look, our people are hurting. We recognize that. We're not sugarcoating that, but we're also honest about the fact that this is what it is going to take to dig out of the type of deficits that we have dug ourselves into over the course of the last 50 years. And so this is where we are, and we're going to do everything within our power to be transparent and accountable with our people about what we want to do. And this is what we are going to do under the leadership of Mr. President.
Ajuri Ngalale, Special Advisor to the President's Media and Publicity, thank you so much for the clarifications.
A privilege to be with you. Thank you.
Moving on, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of a new board and management team of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The new board has Chiedu Ebie, representing Delta State, as chairman, and Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, representing Bayelsa, as managing director. Other members appointed on the 17-man board and drawn from the Niger Delta region include executive directors, state and zonal representatives. A statement by the presidential spokesperson, Ajuri Ngalale, says the president expects the new board and management team to ensure an era of successful administration in the NDDC in line with his renewed hope agenda. All of the appointments take immediate effect. And now to election matters. The campaign drums have started beating in the three states of Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi, where the off-season governorship elections are scheduled to hold November 11 later this year. While INEC assures the lessons learned from the 2023 general elections will increase the electioneering process for these elections, participating parties are already boasting of victory. What are the key campaign issues being raised by these parties in the three states that NTA now chooses to reference with the acronym BIG, Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi? Now, without further ado, let's bring you a colleague of reports with our correspondents in the three states detailing how things are going with the political parties and their campaigns.
I am Edidi Ongiba in Yenagoa. Bayelsa State boasts of 16 credible candidates that will be contesting the 2023 off-cycle governorship election. Out of these 16, 2 are women, representing about 1.5% of the demographics, and the top contenders are of the PDP, the APC, and the Labour Party. The incumbent governor, Senator Doyediri, will be contesting again for a second tenure, and he hopes to consolidate on the prosperity agenda of his first tenure. Another top contender for the job is the immediate past Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and a one-time governor of the state, Chief Timipri Silva. Chief Timipri Silva says he will work on the infrastructure, improve human capacity development, agriculture, infrastructure, and of course, power. The Labour Party in the state will be represented by a one-time national president of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, and of course a former commissioner of Youth and Sports and Environment, Mr. Udengs Eradiri. Mr. Udengs Eradiri hopes to re-engineer governance through the inclusion of youths in governance.
In Owerri, I am Kingsley Onaniwu. Security, job creation, as well as infrastructural development are the major campaign promises of the 3 major political parties in Imo State ahead of November 11 state governorship election. For the candidate of APC and the incumbent governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodimma, issue of security will occupy the top priority of his administration if re-elected for a second tenure. In the same vein, the candidate of the Labour Party, Senator Atan Achon, has been promising Imo people that on assumption of office, there must be adequate security of lives and property so that people will go apart doing their lawful businesses. For the candidate of PDP, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, issue of insecurity that is bedeviling the state at the moment will be a thing of the past if he is voted into power.
This is Solomon in Lokoja, Kogi State. Kogi State was established on August 27, 1991 and recently marks its 32nd anniversary. With the upcoming governorship election scheduled for November 11 this year, 18 candidates are jostling to occupy Lugard House. Usman Ahmed Ododo, the governorship candidate of the APC in Kogi State, is centering his campaign efforts on consolidating the achievements of the current administration in sectors such as health, education, and youth empowerment. Senator Dino Milai of the PDP has chosen a female running mate. His agenda includes establishing good governance, emphasizing security. Muritala Yakubu Ajaka, the candidate of the SDP, is pledging to foster job creation and attract both local and foreign investors. Jubrin Usman, a retired chief of naval staff and the governorship candidate of the Accord Party, is gaining attention as he champions a comprehensive approach to good governance. Leke Abejide of the ADC has articulated his priorities, which encompass local government enhancement, job creation, and the promotion of socio-economic development.
Many thanks to our reporters there from our Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi State, keeping us up to speed with election issues as it's unfolding from their state. Nigeria is hyping its capacity as one of the leading nations providing capital for startups with potential to create homegrown solutions for Nigeria's prosperity. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, gave the assurance at an engagement with major players in the tech industry. He says he is prioritizing training of technical talents and connecting Nigerian tech diasporans for knowledge transfer to actualize President Bola Tinubu's mandate of Nigeria having 1 million technical talents in the shortest possible time.
To start a local fund in Nigeria. And part of my responsibility is working with BOI to ensure that we actually domicile that funding locally in Nigeria, work with funds who manage and invest in businesses to ensure that those businesses that will benefit are true, real Nigerian businesses.
There will be lots more time for us to support you and work with you, and I hope we can do this as a true private and public partnership.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda for development, democracy, demography and diaspora will be pursued unrelentingly to bring modern solutions to address complex challenges for national development. The minister stated this when the chairman CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Erewa of NIDCAN, paid a visit to the minister in Abuja. Ambassador Tuga noted that Nigeria should tap into its diaspora beyond Europe and America, but also focus on African diasporans to utilize their global exposure, skills and competencies for national development.
Investment, which is key, we can see what the potential is from just the remittances, not to talk about, solid investments. We need to tap into that. And perhaps with regards to investment, then you start exploring the possibilities of perhaps a diaspora sukuk fund.
Briefing the newly appointed minister, Abike Dabiri-Erewa stated that within 4 years, NIDCAN had consistently hosted the National Diaspora Day, attracting over 5,000 hybrid participants annually, including an inaugural Diaspora Merit Award 2023.
The diaspora come home and see what they can do. And Nigerians are really beginning to invest in their own country. So what we're doing now is tabulating into Naira and Kobo. In the last 3 or 4 years, we have 10 hospitals come to set up by the diaspora.
Now let's join Adeola in Lagos to keep us up to speed from that zone. Adeola, take it up from here.
Thank you, Olajide. The call for community policing has been heightened due to the level of insecurity, which has remained a major concern for Lagos residents in recent times. Stakeholders are of the opinion that since conventional police hardly gets to remote areas of a state, community policing therefore becomes imperative. Lynn Leneke reports.
Security is indeed everyone's business, as concerted efforts of security agencies and residents are important in curbing any form of crime and violence. With over 15 million people living in Lagos, pockets of security challenges have continued to emerge, from agents of perpetrating crimes disguising as transport operators to a recent case of using a minor to peddle drugs. These and many others have continued to generate concerns among Lagos residents, thereby making the calls for community policing louder. To achieve a safer Lagos, these respondents believe inclusion of religious bodies, people from all ethnic and occupational groups into the security architecture is important.
The agencies must relate with the retired community. The retired community must relate with the serving personnel and commute as an interface with the civilian community.
Members of the State of Assembly are not oblivious of the cries of Lagosians. They are discussing the issue with the aim of making recommendations.
We need the state to have the police, our police system here that is conducive for us, that will make life meaningful for people. Security is local, and that's what I want to take advantage of this moment. And let us appeal to the National Assembly to take another look into this matter so that we can save our country, because life is precious.
The Nigerian police, on the other hand, is not leaving any stone unturned to ensure the communities are safe.
We are shifting from the present approach of community policing to policing diverse communities. That is, policing the communities taking into consideration the peculiarities of each community.
The police is, however, issuing stern warning to criminals to desist from perpetrating crimes or face the wrath of the law. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Emergency communication centers are described and known as life-saving channels, as they are created and structured towards rapid response in emergency situations. KG Busari Ahmed, who was at the scene where a mutilated body was dumped for 5 days along Funsho Williams Avenue in Lagos, reports that it took concerned citizens 5 hours of calling before emergency responders arrived.
We're right here at the Western Avenue axis of Lagos, actually the Surulere local government area of Lagos State. This dead body behind me here has been here for over 5 years.
Exactly 11:15 when an NTA crew got to the scene of a dumped mutilated body on the usually busy Western Avenue Road in Lagos and joined policemen from the Barracks Police Station as well as men of Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps who said they had been on the ground since morning calling the Lagos State Emergency Call Center 112 and 767. Yours truly also joined them in calling both the emergency call center and other private numbers belonging to the State Environment Health Management Unit, which took over 2 hours before they could respond and never got to the scene until 2:30 p.m. A situation responded described as unfortunate.
Sometimes when you call, maybe something happened, maybe accident or something like that happened. When you call the number, they will tell you that you're calling the wrong number. Or they will tell you, oh, I'll give you some number that you're going to call.
At times I just feel like, what's going on in this country? These are emergency numbers you're supposed to call.
Some residents of the area also speak.
When I came to work this morning, early this morning, I just saw it like this. It's so surprised.
Normally call them, they will come immediately to come and pick it whenever they see such. But now we've been calling since over like 3, 4, 5 hours.
We can only hope that when next such happens, relevant authorities will not only rise to the occasion, but do so in time, not leaving residents of any area to such an unhealthy, gory sight.
How effective are these numbers? Only time will tell. In Lagos, KG Busari Ahmed, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. Do not forget that you can still follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. We're going on a break now. More news with Olajide in Abuja when we return to stay.
Take it from me, the mind-blowing way to do things is the Glow LTE advanced way. When you stream, it's like you're in the drama itself. When you make calls, you reach where others can't. Coffee! Doing business is like running Wall Street from your street. And when you play,
I did beat you guy. We'll see about that.
It's like traveling the world without moving an inch.
Is that Toby in your room?
You can download in the blink of an eye in 4K.
Go.
And when you go for your dreams, it's like running with the strength of 3 nations behind you.
Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Are you a dealer in cars, jewelry, precious metals and stones and luxury goods? Are you into real estate or are you an estate agent, surveyor, valuer, developer or broker? Are you into the hospitality industry, lottery